Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Spiritual Successor, a comedy video game design podcast, where we take your lovely video game submissions from all over the internet, except for one place that's not an official channel, and we turn those into the next AAA titles. I'm one of your hosts, AJ Hart.
And I'm your other host, Blake Rea. Hey, everybody, we got some special news. We finally got another guest episode coming in. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm your best friend, Ray, and we're not talking about movies today. I was kidnapped to do this podcast. Hi, hello.
We just saw your
raw we saw your raw himbo energy, and we were like, hey, we got to get that on the show. Just come design some games with us.
Sure. I know what video games are.
Allegedly.
Oh, but... I would hope so. You host a video game show.
Merriam-Webster defines video games as... I don't have the end to this bit, unfortunately.
It could be whatever you want it to be.
Ray, thank you so much for joining us today. Now, for those that don't know, Ray, you've got a good plethora of stuff under your belt that you kind of do. You've got a show called Mock Footage where you talk about movies that you haven't seen and what you think they're like. You've got a video game podcast where you just talk about video games that you've replayed recently or played for the first time in Gaming New Horizons. You've got Deck of Friendship. What don't you do, Ray?
Sleep.
All right, that's a fair one. Okay.
I don't take care of myself. Does that count?
Dang. Well, you know what? Sometimes that's...
Hey, don't worry. We're gonna fix that up right now. We're gonna design some good feel good games.
Yeah.
You know what? You don't need sleep when you could be making games for us. I would argue that being sleep deprived and being just like at your most feral is when video game design comes strongest, right? We all love Borderlands, and that's made by an absolute fucking maniac named Randy Pitchford. You think for a second I'm gonna believe that who's the guy that made Metal Gear?
Oh, Hideo Kojima.
You want me to believe for a second that Hideo Kojima takes care of himself? I know Yoko Taro is nuts too. So like again, you need to be just a little bit on the cusp. So I think so long as we can keep you nice and sleepy and like on the border of sedated, we can make some incredible games with you. We've weaponized your gassed energy.
Sleepy boy energy.
I've been waiting for this moment. I've been waiting for somebody to say, Ray, you being tired is okay. Let's destroy the world together.
Ray, aren't you tired of being sleepy? Don't you just want to go ape shit?
I'm too sleepy to answer. Yawn.
Yeah, we're recording on like opposite coasts right now. You're in Detroit, right?
I'm on Eastern Standard Time.
Oh my god, so you're like, it's like late, it's a little sleepy night time.
What is time? 8 o'clock is nothing. What are you talking about?
No, Blake is like a million years old and he does go to sleep. He's texted me one time saying like it was like 7:30 and I just sat down for dinner and I was like, hey Blake, do you want to go do this later on? And he's like, I'm going to bed actually.
Wait, hold on. What is being old about having a fucking cold? I was like, that day you texted me, I was sick and I'm like, hey, I can't taste anything. I need to sleep. What's old about that?
Only old people take care of themselves, as evidenced by Ray, young and spry, not taking care of himself, not sleeping, not eating, not taking sick days. That's how us young people roll, old man.
I'm older than both of you.
Yeah, but like you're like a young soul.
I carry so much young energy that no one can really tell how old I am. That's not a joke.
Let me take a wild guess. You're 27, 26.
Yeah, you got it.
27. A young man. What are you talking about?
I'm a young man. My bones are creaking. I go to bed at 4 in the afternoon. I have oatmeal, but I need my son to chew it for me first.
Speaking of aging, I had an incident recently where, for those that don't know, I work for a scooter company, and for a scooter little stunt, I ended up trying to whip a scooter like a cool guy, and and I ended up falling because I tried to whip it good, and I fell and I hurt, and it wasn't even like a hard fall or a hard hurt, but both of my elbows just were in pain for a week and a half. So like I talk so much shit about being young and spry and super cool and fit and like healthy. One little oof ouch, and I couldn't use my arms to open a door without wincing for a week and a half.
See, there's a funny part too to this story. Basically, AJ and I take turns doing social media for the podcast, and he and I were like on a call in the middle of playing a video game where he was using his hands, and he's like, "Hey man, I'm in a lot of pain. Can you like just do the social media post today?" And I'm just like, so I was like caught between being like, "Hey, no, fuck you, go do this thing," and being a bad friend. Or just saying, "Oh man, I'm so sorry you're in pain. I'll do that for you, right? Lickety split."
I've never fallen off of a scooter, so I don't know what it's like to not be able to use my elbows.
Have you tried to take a motorized scooter and just whip it real good? Just like do like a cool Akira bike slide with a scooter?
Every day.
God, that's so cool.
And you haven't fallen yet, huh?
I mean, if you don't fall, how will you get better? So yes, when I was like 10 years old, 100 years ago, I did in fact fall, but no longer. But back then I was too young for my elbows to hurt, you know?
We should
to
all
be
get
that
into
young again.
competitive one-wheel racing. They do races out in like they do races out in Aspen, like in Colorado, where you just go on a rocky ass like deadly trail, and it's just like it's called Race for the Rail basically. And you just race down a mountain on your one wheel, and a bunch of people hang out and drink. It's great.
That sounds super cool and super fun. I need to not do that for my own safety. I'll watch. I'll serve the drinks, but no, I'm good.
Hey boys,
Yeah.
I think it's time for video games. I'm sick of talking about how
All
old
right.
we are. I'm sick of talking about our cool motorized scooters and our cool motorized vehicles and how dope we are when we drift them and whip them and show off how good we are at those cool things. I want to talk about video games where the real extreme shit happens.
All right. Ray, you want to kick us off? Give us a video game idea?
Sure. Let's
yeah.
see. The first one that I want to talk about here is by at Cleaver Bacon on Twitter. Thank you, Cleaver. Love Cleaver. They say pancake making game. It's a game where you make pancakes. You might solve crimes. I mean, you're expected to solve crimes, but it's not exactly certain.
Okay, my first question is are you solving crimes while eating pancakes, or are you solving pancake-related crimes?
Ooh. Okay, I think here's the thing. We all know what a real crime is. We need to think about what is a pancake-related crime that might need solved.
Where did all my batter go?
Where's all the batter going? Who put broccoli in this pancake? That's a crime. That's a criminal crime, and I will take someone to court for it.
Pancakes?
Who murdered my pancake?
Who stabbed the pancake?
Who let all the syrup out of my pancake?
I feel like figuring this out, it should be what this game is. It feels like a very plot-heavy game. Because I think it's like, once we find out the crime, that's going to kind of give us like the mechanics that we want to do. So just spitballing here, because I just love it. What if you do a noir game centered around pancakes? And then, I don't know. Okay, actually an idea. Because just
Out
the
of
idea...
frying pan and into the shit.
I guess we're all mixed up in the batter.
Okay, hold on. In the realm of, just because I think character design would be so fucking cute, it's just a pancake with a little fedora and has like that, like, you know, like that holster that you wear underneath your like arms, like it drapes over your shoulder and you have the gun like in your armpit. It's just a pancake.
Okay,
but
you're
with that.
imagining like a little bit of a McDonald food village thing where we're playing as a pancake man.
What?
Is that what you're imagining?
McDonald's, man?
Sorry, I'll go for something a little bit more relatable. You're imagining a game where you play as Denny's horrifying pancake mascot.
Okay, yeah. I don't know who the fuck you're talking about with McDonald's, but
You don't know about Mary McCheese?
Oh, I know about Mary McCheese. How does that relate to pancakes?
Well, it's just like a food town.
He's a burger. I mean,
Yeah,
like,
but
okay,
it's like a food village.
Are you saying it's a human being that has a pancake for a face? or is it like a pancake humanoid?
I don't know. You tell me. It's your mind palace.
I mean, this is Ray's game.
Ray, who would you trust more to solve a crime? A pancake that has arms or a dude that has a pancake as a face?
Definitely a pancake with arms. I do not trust that man. That man is dangerous.
What can I ask? What about the pancake face throws you off? What makes him feel dangerous?
Well, the fact that the chocolate chips are the eyes and then the whipped cream is the smile really gets at me. And then sometimes if you're not looking, the whipped cream starts drooping and it's a frown. And it's bad.
But the hairline being made of butter was kind of a cool and clever touch, I thought.
The idea, I don't know why this hit me, but the idea of the pancake having a face that doesn't change is just very fucking unsettling to me. So it's just like, it's a pancake that solves crimes, but it can't move its face. So it's just like, most people don't want to fucking interact with it. Also, I think an important thing we should talk about, how is this pancake to scale? Is it like a pancake-ass pancake size, or is it like an AJ-ass AJ size?
I don't know AJ's size.
He's a tall boy.
I'm like 6 foot, 6'1". I'm like 7'8". I'm 8'2". I'm exactly the same size as Bayonetta.
Love that for
8'2". 8'2". I was gonna compliment you, but
I'm 10 feet tall. I just hit a growth spurt.
You're as big as Paul Bunyan. Is Paul Bunyan the one that with the axe, right?
Yeah, and the cool ox. That's Paul Bunyan. Don't worry, you got it in one.
Oh no, I'm thinking of a different person. I'm thinking of the one that fought the robot in the forest. Remember that one? He like literally worked himself to death to compete with a robot that also cut down trees.
Yeah, that's in Paul Bunyan 2, sequel to Paul Bunyan.
The Lorax?
No, it's not Paul Bunyan, and it's not the Lorax. Very close.
What are you talking about?
I have no idea.
No, it's like a fucking. Hold on.
Is it a American folktale man?
Yeah, it's an American folktale man. Here, hold on. Axeman.
That worked himself to death because he couldn't chop trees as good as a machine?
That's just the working class.
No.
How did we get here from Pancake Cop?
I don't know. I'm just trying to pull strings here. Do we need to go to another game idea? HJ, give us a game idea.
Did you have any game mechanics with this submission?
I did have a thought about the pancake game, which we don't have to stick to it, but I do want to mention that as you progress through the story and like doing noir things, like interacting with other characters, the actual like main gameplay includes like a Bejeweled type system where you line up pancakes of different flavors on a grid.
All right. Yes, because you know what I love about this?
Pancakes.
For too long we've played Bejeweled and Candy Crush, and it's so easy to know exactly what pancake you're supposed to be, or exactly what kind of jewel or candy you're supposed to be matching up to get your things, right? Blue goes to blue, green goes to green, whatever. What we can do here is we can create a game where like you look at it and you're like, I don't know if this pancake is chocolate chip or if this pancake is raisin, because they both have little black polka dots, don't they?
Yeah. No, I was thinking just a normal pancake and a pancake with brown sugar in it. That difference is very, very subtle.
But it is there. And you know, like this will like really drive those 4K 80-inch screen displays, because then you can actually see that nitty-gritty detail on those pancakes to identify which ones. Because you know, we're jumping into the next console generation, and Xbox came out with their horrible titled names of their systems, and kind of the big difference between the Xbox Series Big and the Xbox Series Small is that the Xbox Series Small can't show 4K because we don't need it. We don't need 4K displays.
But if you play this game, you will.
You...
or you're going to have a bad time.
If you are playing a game where you see a little black dot in the pancake and you need to identify if there's a wrinkle or if it's a solid, smooth chocolate chip, you're gonna need that huge 4K display.
Interesting. Yeah, like I'm trying to figure out like how can we put some stink on this, right? And I was thinking about, so this is going to sound like a weird thing, but stick with me. I went to a sandwich shop in New York City, New York, on the other side of the coast. They say, this was like 2 years ago. I went on a road trip. I went to New York, and you can actually buy a sandwich from anywhere in the United States and they'll ship it to you. So, you know what sounds more disgusting than like a 3-day-old sandwich being shipped to me? Syrup, pancakes covered in syrup that are sent to you every time you beat a level. And there's nothing you can do about it. You can't unsubscribe to getting pancakes. Who would do that? Who in their right mind would do that? So every time you beat a level, you get a complimentary package of pancakes.
I'm going to start putting up a tally mark of every time we end up creating a video game about food, and your idea to put stink on it is by shipping that food to our players.
Because it's a staple. It's a spiritual SUCC staple. just like your staple is, hey, how can we do that but fucky? Mine is, hey, how can we do that but with food?
How do we do that but turn it into a food delivery service?
All right, AJ, do you have a game?
Who, me?
Yeah!
Who, me?
Also, I believe the person I was talking about was John Henry, by the way.
Oh,
What?
yeah, John Henry.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, John Henry went up against a machine and he died from a heart attack while competing with this machine, I think.
You know who?
If I remember correctly.
You know who that never would have fucking happened to?
Who?
Paul Bunyan. We stand kings in this house. my fave would never. My fave would never lose to that dumb, stupid machine.
I don't know, man. I don't know how hype I can get behind a man that has Bunyan in his name. When I think Bunyan, I think of like old people in their feet. Like, because that's what they have, right? It's like the bunions. Bunions is like...
Yeah,
no
you're
is
right.
It bunions? It isn't bunions? Gross.
You're right.
Gross.
Mm-hmm.
Gross.
Well, it's because Paul McFucking Huge Axe wouldn't sell as many books, I don't think.
Are you fucking kidding me? I would immediately buy a poster that
Well,
says
back when we
Paul
were all
Big
conservative,
Axe on it.
I know that nowadays, right? Now
Yeah,
that our generation
conservatives,
is
they
all
don't-
adults, we would buy
Conservatives,
those stories
they-
for our kids. But back then, when Paul Bunyan came out, they started to try to write Paul McFucking Huge Axe, but nobody bought those stories for their kids. But nowadays, we write stories like "Go the fuck to sleep," and our generation is just totally fine, just cursing out those little babies. But back in the day, they didn't have it.
All right, give us a game idea, friend.
This submission comes from Druid Drew Davenport at the Davenporter.
Hey! It's been a while.
Bruce Banner has a fancy symphony to go to tonight, but he's stuck as the Hulk. Hulk your way around New York City, trying to engage in calming activities and witnessing breathtaking moments of beauty so that Bruce can make his fancy symphony. So this is a Hulk video game, open world Hulk adventure, except it's just the Hulk and he's real PO'd and he's gonna go for a walk, damn it. Ooh, I need to go for a walk, I'm so angry. And you just sprint around New York and you're like, the lake. Enjoy your brief time at the lake. You sit down, you look at it again, and you're like, all right. And then you stand up and you sprint maximum speed to a little sandwich shop. You sit down, you eat a little sandwich.
Is the gameplay okay? I don't. Do you remember Limbo, where you get like the little headworm and your character wouldn't move the direction that you wanted it to? Does it play like that? So it's like Bruce Banner needs to do 10 calming activities before he gets to the symphony. So is it like you have a general direction you need to go, and the gameplay is trying to not hit things or do property damage on the way to that calming activity? So it's just like frantic run where you don't have full control of the character to point A, and then calming little scene of him drinking coffee with his pinky out as Big Hulk, and then another frantic run to somewhere else. Is that the gameplay?
I don't want it to play like Limbo. And Ray, by all means, if you think that I'm wrong on this, speak up. I don't want it to play like Limbo because I want it to play like you know how if you play Animal Crossing and you're like, oh, I want to go do this. So you just like sprint your little dude maximum speed over to like the little bucket and you push the bucket over. And then you like turn around and you sprint maximum speed into your friend's house. You talk to them and then you're like, thanks for the 2 conversations. Then you turn around and you sprint at maximum speed outside that door. I want that moment, but like hyper realized as if the Incredible Hulk was mad dashing location to location doing a tiny errand to relax himself. I'm almost obsessed with this idea of the Incredible Hulk, 12 feet, all muscle, just barreling down the road so that he can pet a little puppy. and then being like, awesome, I pet the Hulk pet puppy.
So
Goodbye.
Is it just a walking simulator at that point?
So okay.
It's
So,
a sprinting simulator.
a sprinting
What do you think,
simulator.
Ray? What do you think?
So
Yeah, right?
I immediately, and tell me if this is bad, because I have a lot of bad ideas.
No, there's no bad ideas.
There's no bad ideas in game design.
Oh, that's right.
It's our job description to make just games that shouldn't be made. So give it your all.
Right. Oh, okay. So I'm imagining like an open world type games, kind of like Assassin's Creed, where there's like a bunch of little objectives everywhere that you can do. The one that stuck out in my brain is that one, you're still sprinting as the Hulk, and then one thing you can do is like sprint over, and like this is on a time-based system because you got to get to the symphony, right? So you
of
have
course, yeah.
You have a limited time to play this game. But you can it's a repeatable game, and you get different endings depending on your
It's a
calm level.
roguelike game.
Right. So you sprint over to like, I don't know, Central Park, where there's a little lake and there's a little bench, and you sprint on over to the bench and you sit down, and like an active time battle or an active time event happens where like a bunch of and you play a mini game where there's like birds coming down on you, but instead of swatting them away, you feed them little bird treats to calm yourself down. And depending how you do, your calmness level decreases, or your anger level decreases.
I want to throw you guys a little curveball, like building off of what you're saying, Ray. You know, like how that Witcher game is coming out for the phone, The Witcher Monster Hunt or whatever, and it's an augmented reality game. What if you did that, but as the Hulk? So like
So this is an AR game for your phone?
that you are then like you get a little notification like Hulk needs to go here, and then it gives you the motivation to jog over
You
there.
have to sprint over.
You have to fucking sprint over there while holding your phone in front of you because you don't know where the obstacles are. So you're actually not looking at what's in front of you. You're while full sprint running, you're looking at your screen. So most likely you're going to trip and fall, and you have to get to that location where you can do a fun little augmented reality game where you have to like look at the birds and aim and like feed them. And there's just a bunch of little games like that. You have to play the game at full volume because there's like a lot of like Hulk yelling. Like you could just be like just like over there like leaning into the grass like you're feeding birds, but out of your phone you just hear Hulk smash, and just like everybody's looking at you and feeling really uncomfortable. That's kind of the vibe I think this game could take.
Yes, I want to add one thing to it. I think that when your phone starts going off that you've hulked out and like you need to go do a calming errand, your phone does not stop. It is like when like it's like when like our phones got those like little alerts about like, oh hey, there's
Amber
a
alerts.
lockdown happening tonight.
Yeah.
And our phones just would not shut up until we're like, okay, I get it. And you tap it 4 times and like, all right, we're done. And then 20 minutes later the phone was like, hey buddy, by the way, there's still a lockdown tonight. Like, I want that. Your phone will not give you space until you drop everything you're doing and sprint as fast as you can to the nearest park.
You do not decide when it comes to you. It's just
no.
Oh, no, you could be at work.
And you get more points the faster you react to it. Like you could press a snooze button, but every time you press the snooze button or the longer you wait to do this activity, the less points you score. So
also,
the
more likely you are to just lose all of your points for the day because Bruce Banner may not make it to his symphony.
So basically he doesn't calm out and he doesn't calm down in time.
Yeah, if you screw up, you're not getting any of your points for the day. Hulk needs to cool right now.
I like this because then it gives you like at the end of the day, like your end of the day report. It'll be like you get a text message to be like, this is how well you did today. And then, you know, that happens you only lose the progress of that day. Not like if you can keep like a bunch of days going in a row, you still level up, and I don't know what you get. Like it's like in
little
I look
Hulk
at like
hats and little Hulk shorts.
How do you say that?
Things in game.
Are you telling me you have to pan the camera down to look at your sweet fucking shorts and shoes with your phone? Like if you pivot it down, you could just see your legs are replaced with big ass Hulk legs.
Yeah, I've been playing this VR game for a while, and I've been really racking up the days, and so I actually unlocked the ability where if I aim my phone down, I can look at my Hulk legs going down and do a pair of Nike pumps, baby.
Ooh, what happens when multiple people run into each other?
I hope that they're not looking at their phones because it's gonna hurt when they bump into each other at max speed.
Okay, so does this have multiplayer capability then? Are there multiple Hulks running around at any given moment trying to calm down?
Because there are different Hulks. There's Red Hulk, there's Gray Hulk, there's like the whole planet of Hulks. That's the app.
Yeah.
It's just Planet Hulk, and
It's
we're
just
all
Planet
Hulk.
Hulk.
Planet Hulk.
But there's a symphony at Planet Hulk tonight, and you have to get there.
What does
So how
happen
does-
when you have multiple people, right? Like what do we like if my phone goes off and I'm like, "Ah, shoot, I need to drop everything. My little Hulk runner is telling me that I need to sprint down to the Wendy's nearby and just, people watch right outside the Wendy's." What happens if I start sprinting there and I see somebody else is also sprinting at maximum speed towards that Wendy's? Do I now have to race them? Is it a race to get there first?
No, I have it. Okay. You have to. It's like Pokemon battles where if you see each other, you have to engage in a battle. However, every Hulk is trying to help each other calm down to get to the Opera House, right? So you are forced into a tea time activity event.
See, I love this because this is like a great way to meet people. Actually, just like hang out and have a conversation.
What we're doing is we're creating the most stressful possible situation to get our players to relax.
And to exercise, relax, and meet new people.
All while our phone is just screaming and blaring alerts at nauseum.
God. Oh my God.
I think the tagline, I don't know what the name of this game is, but I know that the tagline is something like "You must relax," and "must" is like in all caps and underlined 3 times.
Planet Hulk, hurry up and relax, please. Or hurry up and relax.
I like the desperation of "you must."
You must relax. I don't know, like, because I feel like the whole game is powered by sprinting to places, right? You're trying to get somewhere in time, so I feel
You're desperately trying to. We'll workshop it on the back end of the game of this if this is the nug.
Okay. All right. Do you want me to give you a game idea?
Yeah, why don't you hit us with one this time?
All right, actually, first, really quick, we should ask Ray a question because we haven't asked Ray a question.
Oh,
yet.
hi, hello.
Ray, we're gonna do a little interview question with you.
Okay.
AJ, do you want to ask the first question?
No, you probably have the list typed up, and I don't. You have the docket, right?
You just ask him the questions that you sent me last night.
I'll do it anyway. Ray,
Yes.
we mentioned a little bit earlier today that you've got a good variety of projects that you do. You know, a little improv comedy story show, a little bit of like you talking about reviewing anime, a little bit of you reviewing games. You even do your own live streams. And all of these projects have different angles, right? Like, I don't imagine that you go into every single one of them the exact same way. Maybe you do, but what sort of tricks do you have to get yourself ready for each of these different projects when you're going in for them? And how does it feel different when you face a different project?
Yeah, so each podcast and project that I do is to get me into the zone for each one because it's a lot for each one. It mostly depends on my co-hosts and the energy we bring in to that specific podcast and episode that we're doing. So, for example, with Mock Footage, my movie podcast, depending on how Joe and I are feeling, we usually do like a 5-minute warm-up. Usually it's something stupid where we're like, okay, let's do this just to kind of get us in the mood of like watching a movie, but not like seriously critically analyzing it, which isn't the point of the podcast. It's just to have fun and talk about it. And then for Gaming New Horizons, that's very different because we have to play the game, but we can't talk about it that much to each other. So for that, it's literally just, okay, let's do some shop talk at the beginning and then get into the episode because we're very excited to talk about the video game that we're covering.
Oh, so you like don't even talk about like there's no like warm up with those? You just kind of like, oh, here's business, hit record, let's talk.
Yeah, that's gaming New Horizons, pretty much. We don't. There's enough chaos energy between the three of us that we can. We have a section at the beginning called our gunk section that is trademarked, and
Got
that's
it.
just
I
like
won't use it.
it's just the cold open, and we just talk for like 10 minutes and just kind of catch up and also be stupid, and that leads us into the energy of the episode. And then Deck of
Gotcha.
Friendship, I don't know, we talk about anime. Like, we say, hey, hi, how's it going? It's been a minute. You want to watch an anime? Yeah, okay. And then we watch the episode together, and then we talk about it.
Oh, you even watched the episode together.
Yes, for Deck of Friendship, we watch the episodes together at the same time, so we kind of have a feel of what we're all thinking about the episode before we start, because, you know, sometimes we might all hate the episode and decide, let's stop watching this TV show anime thing. Looking at you, Fighting Foodons, don't be racist.
That was that show that I
which-
remember growing up with Fox, right?
I think, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, mm-hmm. Did you know they do racist things? Welcome to anime. They do racist things. But
I mean, yeah, there's
for a children's anime, don't do it. Just don't. It's easy. Don't be racist.
what era was this made in? Is this a recent anime or is this like an early 2000s anime? 'Cause
Early
definitely-
2000s.
Yeah, that's what I was suspecting. A lot
That's
of early
like
2000s
Yu-Gi-Oh!
anime just had
Time.
fucking problematic elements all
I'm
over
so
the
glad
place.
that Fighting Foodons got remade in Food Wars.
I still need to check out Food Wars.
I imagine Food Wars is what if Fighting Foodons wasn't racist, but was very horny.
Wait, doesn't Food Wars follow like 15, 16-year-olds though?
So anime has a lot of problems.
Anime's got a lot of problems, Blake.
uncomfortable.
This is not a joke.
All right, something that isn't problematic. Ray, with so many projects, like, how do you have any advice for time management? Because I feel like I was looking through a bunch of our, like, the people who follow us on Twitter. A lot of them host their own podcasts, or just host more than one. So I'm wondering if, like, what are some tips and tricks you have for like time management and communication between that many different projects?
Yeah, so the biggest piece of advice I would say is to keep a schedule and to make sure and to understand that that schedule is flexible, but to make sure that you have slotted times. If you're doing as many projects like I am, to make time specific slots for those projects so that you're not just, hey, let's record today, I feel like it. That you're going to burn out so quick if you do that. So if you have that schedule in place, but in case something goes wrong, you know, make sure with your co-hosts, or if it's just you, like, understand, like, that just happens. Like, don't beat yourself up if things don't go the way they're expected. And that's something I had to learn just growing up as a person, because when you record 3+ podcasts every 2 weeks, that does have a toll on you as a person. And also, if you have like a full-time job like I do, you know, that's 8.5+ hours out of your day where you can't focus on doing a podcast or any of your creative projects.
For the art.
Do it for the art, but also make sure to take care of yourself. Yeah, take care of yourself also. If you don't feel like doing an episode, like recently, Joe and I were going to do an episode of mock footage, but we realized we haven't talked to each other in like 2.5 weeks just to hang out. I was like, let's just hang out for a couple hours. And that's much better than trying to crank out a bad episode.
Yeah. That's
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's totally fair. I think that, like, especially when people are kind of like in their like hustle phase, you know what I mean? When like everything's like, oh, it needs to be done, it needs to be like complete so that we can keep on the grind. It's really easy to just like put self-care off to the side because there's that feeling that you need to be productive and that you need to make sure that you're releasing something, even though like everything's so small at this stage, right? And like this is the time when like When you're small, you have the wiggle room to say, I'm just not feeling it this time.
Right. And that's
Well,
really hard to understand, is that if you take care of yourself, your work is going to be better in the long run.
Yeah. I know one thing that AJ and I do is, because like things are like starting to change a lot for us with Spiritual Successor, of like, hey, we're starting to do more stuff on the YouTube channel. We're doing trailers for, every other podcast and stuff. And one thing that we always tell ourselves is like, no matter what we add onto our docket, no matter what we're doing, we never, ever, ever do work on Saturdays unless it's like super important, like a guest episode. Like today, we're recording on a Saturday.
You broke our Saturday oath, Ray.
So sorry.
But like having that
We can
day
stop.
of rest,
We can stop?
if you just
We can stop. We can record another day.
Ray, let's call Joe and Jupiter and let's play Among Us. Finally, that game rocks.
Oh, if only.
God, could you imagine if I just like stopped recording right now? Just like, all right, yeah, we're done.
All right,
That's
later,
just
everybody.
the
Hope you
energy I
enjoyed the
bring
2
to the
games we
table.
talked.
You don't know what's gonna happen.
You just bring a nice like, I want to hang out with that person energy.
Aw,
Fucking
thanks.
just stop. Let's stop working. Let's hang out. Let's play some games.
No,
Yeah,
we're too
I'm
close
really
to
bad for morale.
We've almost cracked the code. We can't stop now. It's tempting. It's tempting to just abandon the project right now and just like, Ray, you bring up an excellent point. We can and should take care of ourselves, but that's not going to make us money.
But see, here's the thing. Like, if we ended this episode now, I can bitch for like the next 500 episodes about how we went one episode where I couldn't give a game idea, AJ. And that sounds pretty fun for me. Sounds bad for you, but it sounds pretty fun for me.
No, give me your one video game idea first.
All right. This one's a big one, so I hope you're ready. Ray, if I'm correct, you actually went to school to be a historian and are currently still studying to do that, right?
Yes, I did do an MMM doing that.
Hell yeah. So this I think you'll enjoy this game. This one comes to us from the one true Wade who submit game ideas and make sure that they appear on the show. It comes to us on YouTube from Connor Rain. AJ hates when we use YouTube submissions. I don't know if you do that,
It's
Ray.
an official channel.
Official channel. All right, so Connor Rain suggests France Revolution. Heads will roll in this new historical spin-off of the to the hit rhythm game series. You'll play the Bonaparte of a revolutionary who inspires the poor of France to rise up with your sick dance moves. Will you make the cut, sound of guillotine dropping, or will you be a Lafayetting stock at the stocks, sound of hangman's noose tightening? This game will have you grooving to Viva la France and Viva la Vida. Get your copy today. First off, when my first time reading this, I read they were implying it's Bonaparte. They have it parentheses where it's like Bonaparte E, so I read it as Bonaparte. So I don't know if we want to utilize that. Our main character, Bonaparte.
Okay, so Bonaparte is the main character. Got it.
So
Is this just Step Up, except at the end of it you kill Robespierre?
Oh my god.
I think you dance it out with Robespierre.
Okay.
So it's a rhythm game, and I feel like each level you're taking on you start in the streets, so you're just your first dance is up against a nobody soldier, I would assume. And then you are currently working up through the ranks to get to the leader of France, and you are going to kill the leader of France, and that's like the final boss level?
Hey Ray?
Uh-huh.
Could you give Blake and me just like a tiny like 3-sentence history lesson on the French Revolution? Because I know the
Didn't watch
name
Les Miserables?
Bonaparte and I know the name Robespierre and I played a very little amount of Assassin's Creed Unity. That's about all I know about it. So if you could just give me a couple, just like 3 little sentences so that I can make some jokes for the next like 4 or 5 minutes, that'd be super dope.
It was Louis
Sure,
Oh, also, yeah, Blake mentioned Les Miserables, so I know Hugh Jackman was there. I don't know who he was.
Hugh Jackman is an unlockable character in this game.
Hugh Jackman is an unlockable character in history. If you go down to your library and you activate the cheat code, they'll give you the better history books. And that has Hugh Jackman in it.
Okay, so here's the thing about history, okay, is that it's very big. And you have to specialize in history in order to study it properly. I know very little about French history because I do modern American urban history. So,
Okay.
with that in mind, take everything I say in the next 30 seconds with a grain of salt.
Okay. Well, here's one thing I would propose. I know that people always say that thing about like, oh, history repeats itself. So if you want to give us history from something else, and we'll just apply that to the French Revolution because history does repeat itself.
Can I apply today to the French Revolution? Is that allowed?
Well, hopefully.
Okay, here. Okay,
Are
here's.
you telling me Mr. Trump is going to be King Louis? God, I said Louis.
We
God, I
can't
said
continue
Louis.
this
It's
joke
King
without
Louis.
ending up on a watch list, Blake.
Listen, all I'm gonna say here is that socialism good. Also, storming of the Bastille. That's important.
Bless you.
Storming of the.
Do you remember? Do you remember the? You weren't there during the storming of the Bastille. You know, the prison.
On 14th July 1789, a state prison on the east side of Paris, known as the Bastille, was attacked by an angry and aggressive mob. The prison had become a symbol of the monarchy's dictatorial rule. Man, words are hard. And the event became one of the defining moments in the revolution that followed. God, the paintings from this are pretty bitchin', actually.
Yeah, no, they're pretty cool.
So video games, which are of
So
course
video
always
games.
apolitical.
Okay, my first question is how accurate is this to actual history? Because one, I don't know anything, but I'm sure we can hire somebody who knows French history.
They're dancing to solve their problems. Everything has been thrown out the door, Ray.
Okay. Okay, so I just have the ending of the game for you.
All right, that's all we need.
You dance your way against God, who is the sun.
Okay, yeah, there we go.
What?
So
It's the natural progression of things, Blake. You know,
It's
like
one, it's a
progression
natural
of this.
progression of JRPGs, which I do have to talk about in a video game podcast. The other thing is that I want to say Louis XIV, who is not the one who is here, was also known as the Sun King or whatever.
Which is a radical title.
Holy shit, Sun King is pretty good.
I'm pretty sure that's right.
Okay, so is this going to be one of those dance mat games? I don't know if you remember those really just crappy, like crinkly plastic dance mats that they sold with like PS2s.
Yeah, I have
You guys
one
ever
over
play
there.
those?
I can see it.
Yeah, I think I got
my
one for the
God.
Mario dancing game.
There's a Mario dancing game?
Mario Dance Dance Revolution!
Hell yeah, there
What?
The main bad guy is Waluigi. Continue.
What? What in the
Waluigi was the bad guy in that?
Waluigi's the main bad guy. He has such long limbs, he got the funky fresh moveses.
Hey, that's the
Mario
best
looks so
characterizing
fucking
thing I could have
cool.
ever imagined for Waluigi.
Yeah,
he's got
I don't
big,
think
long
Nintendo.
legs.
I don't think Nintendo thought of that. I think they just wanted to use Waluigi, but those long limbs equal good dance moves.
He's a long, linky boy.
Yeah. Anyway, you fight God. You dance against God.
You do style on God. Hey, do you ever
like
think
this
about what
because-
would have happened if the Step Up movies had continued happening and going? And like, do you think that we could have hit? You know how the Fast and the Furious movies started off as like, ha ha ha, car go fast, and now it's like Black Superman.
Uh-huh.
Do you ever imagine like?
Oh,
that
did you
could have
hear
been
that it's
Step
confirmed
Up.
going to space?
What
Yeah,
Like,
I
they're
saw
going
that.
to space in the next movie. Did you see that?
Hell yeah, they're gonna drift a moon Dougie.
moon crater?
No, what are those called? The little buggies. They're gonna drift a moon buggy, not a Dougie.
moon
I'm
Dougie.
stupid.
What's that one song? Teach me how to Dougie.
Teach me how to buggy.
Teach me how to
Anyway,
moon Dougie.
Could you imagine a world? There's another timeline where the Step Up movies continued to come out more and more and more, and the Step Up movies ended in a conflict between Dwayne the Rock Johnson, the bald guy that isn't Bruce Willis, and
Uh-huh.
the actor whose name I'm also forgetting.
Vin Diesel.
Vin Diesel. Thank you.
I mean, yeah, I would hope so. I would like to see those two dance it off.
Who do you think would be a better dancer, My money's on Vin Diesel.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing against Dwayne, but like Vin Diesel's got the moves.
Yeah, here's the thing. I think the reason why Vin Diesel would be a better dancer is because I think that Vin Diesel would have something to prove. You know what I mean? Like Dwayne The Rock Johnson's Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Like what the fuck ever. Like he's just gonna show up and people are gonna be like, Dwayne. But Vin Diesel has to go out and he's got to earn his fucking keep time and time again. And that's why we love Vin. That's why we stand my boy Vin.
That's right, because he's like kind of falling behind in like the action star spotlight.
He is if you don't watch the Fast and the Furious movies, but I don't need him in anything other than the Fast and the Furious movies. Because like, if Vin Diesel were to go to any other movie, he wouldn't talk about family. A thing that he's nailed doing thanks to the Fast and the Furious movies.
He gets paid a lot of money to talk about family.
And if we were in the alternate timeline where Vin Diesel had to talk about dancing the whole time, he would be an excellent dancer in the way that he is talking about family.
So, how good do you think Vin Diesel's French accent is? And I'm asking that because I want to cast him as
Okay, I have... this is nothing with the video game anymore, unless Vin Diesel's our main character now.
Yeah, so, I think he is, just to get ourselves back to the video game.
So we use American actors, but we do French dubs over them moving their lips.
What's more...
Yes.
So it's all in French, but it's obviously like there's a subtitles. Or you can just listen to people talking French, but it's Vin Diesel moving his mouth, and clearly he's not saying the words.
Yeah, but you can read his lips, and it's a different story.
We workshop this out to Ubisoft because I think they're very, very good at just casting white people for other people's cultures.
Sounds
all right.
Good.
Ray, do you have one more video game before we jumped into deciding our nug?
I have one video game that I need to bring up. It is suggested by _Giuseppe on Twitter. Thanks, Joe. You might know him from a previous episode.
Shoot. Do I know a Joe?
I played Paladins with a Joe once.
Oh yeah, me too. Huh, weird.
Weird. Yeah. I couldn't have been the same guy though, right?
There's way too many Joes have been the same
too many
guy.
There's a lot of Joes in the world.
Yeah. Anyway, Joe says a 2-person co-op VR experience where each person controls one half of a horse.
Okay, is this
I'm
like
into this, but under one, I have one thing that is very important to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know those like 2-person horse outfits, those like 2-person horse costumes?
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
And like if you're in the backside, then you're just looking at the front person's butt the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
This 2-person VR game plays like that, and one person puts on the VR controller and they're just going to be looking at someone's butt the whole time.
So it's not an actual horse, but is this person? Are these 2 people pretending to be a horse?
Yes.
Have
Okay.
we made a game like this already? A part of me feels like I feel like that's like early SUCC days. Like we did 2 people in a suit trying to control one horse.
Did we?
I don't know, but we can mix it up a little bit. The idea that one person can't see what's going on and the other person has to Actually, here's how it works. Here's how it works. Here's the mechanic.
Well,
so this
Ray,
is like...
where were you thinking about taking this?
I was thinking about taking this. You know those memes about like the fruits trying to blend in with other fruits, and it's been X amount of days, and they haven't noticed a thing. Do you know those memes?
Yeah.
You're talking about how like sometimes there'll be like a red orange, and they're like, "Ooh, the red orange is hiding with the apples."
Yeah.
It's been 10 days, and they have not noticed me yet. Those kind of memes.
Yeah, those. I'm imagining that, but it's 2 people pretending to be a horse, and you have to like do horse things. So you're in the wild with some horses, right? There's no other humans around. It's just you and your partner trying to become one with horse nature for research, for science, I guess. If it's for science, it's allowed. So you go out there, you have to learn how to graze and also learn how to drink from the river. Also gallop at the same speed as the horses.
In perfect synchronicity.
I'm trying to think of like ways that you can make the game a little bit like it really requires the communication. Building off of AJ's idea where they were saying like one person just can't see because they're inside the suit. That person should control like motion, like them walking or like what direction they go in, but it requires the person who's working the front of the suit to communicate to them. Be like, "Hey, let's go left. Hey, let's go right." And I guess like what the person in front gets is they have the ability to interact with things, so, like pick things up or move things or interact with other like objects. Does that sound good at all?
Yes. This is good.
This is
all right.
Good. This is the beginnings of something good. Here's my concern. I'm worried that it doesn't have enough stink to it.
Okay.
So what are you thinking?
So okay. I have a twist. About halfway through the game, you get captured by a family, and you're now part of a horse girl video game.
Yes.
You're the horse in the horse girl video game. And you have to help this young girl learn about freedom and being a good person, while still maintaining being a horse.
Yes,
Why?
because you're in too deep. And
You're in too deep.
If you reveal that you're a person now, like the girl will be heartbroken forever, and she'll never love a horse again.
Right.
She won't know what it's like to be free. You got to show her.
So the tutorial level is like it's 8 hours worth of tutorial of you learning how to be a horse until like this game is nailed in between our two players how to really be a horse, how to act like a horse, how to operate so in sync like a horse. And then the second half we've introduced this idea of like now that you've mastered being a horse, now you must master being a girl's best horse.
I hate this so
what does
much.
that look
I'm
like?
So
What are some
mad
of the...
I brought this.
What does that look like?
Yeah. Like what like what's level to level?
It's interesting that you were concerned about the leveling because my immediate concern is the part in many horse movies where the horse breaks its leg and somebody thinks about killing the horse.
Oh my god.
And I'm really not certain how to gamify that.
I mean, now it's an escape game at that point.
Oh no.
It just
I guess that's going to be how we get to the end of the game, right? We get to the end of the game and like there's some sort of dramatic moment outside of the player's control. The horse, maybe whoever's in the rear, if they make a mess up too bad, they'll end up being the one that breaks the horse's ankles. You're playing basketball too bad, somebody got a good juke on you, broke your ankles.
Oh my god.
At that point, the game has two endings. The good ending and the bad ending. The good ending is the daughter's able to convince her dad that the horse deserves to stay around and that the horse is a real fighter and can push through and will be totally better in a matter of weeks. The bad ending... So I'm ready to go on to another video game suggestion instead, actually. I don't want to follow this thread.
Yeah, that's
my
fine.
feelings.
AJ, give us a game.
I don't know if I got another video game for us, actually. I think it's about that time. Hey, Ray.
Yeah?
What's our nug, you think?
Oh boy, can I get a recap?
So we've got a co-op VR game where you and your partner have to become the world's best horse and then becomes the world's best girl's horse. We've got a game where, let's see, what else did we have? We had a game about a pancake cop that slowly escalated into... Where the fuck did we go with that? I don't remember. There was definitely a game about being a pancake detective, and it was a noir game. We had a video game about the French Revolution, and eventually that devolved into Vin Diesel dancing. And then we had a game that was on your phone where the game demanded that you move at maximum speed to go relax in a park somewhere, unannounced. Randomly.
Right. Yeah, I think it's a Hulk smash. You must calm down.
I also am thinking that one.
Hell yeah. I think that's a great game.
What are we thinking for naming conventions? Because I think that what's so important with a game like this is like we have so many of these mobile type games, right? Like Pokemon Go, Hero Quest Go, whatever the Witcher's game is going to be called, probably also Hulk.
The Witcher,
Witcher Go.
Monster. No, it's Witcher Monster.
I'm almost wondering if we can throw the word rampage in there, but I'm also concerned about us getting in a nice relaxing synonym in there. Hulk's relaxing rampage feels a bit on the nose. How do you two feel about that?
I actually
Okay.
funny.
I was gonna say, I like that. I was gonna say, to follow weird video game naming convention, we could do Hulk Rampage / Relax.
Hulk R&R.
Hulk
Ooh.
R&R.
Rampage and relax. Hell yeah.
Hulk R&R, though.
Hulk R&R? I think that's it. Did we knock that out of the park?
I think it's Hulk
Yeah.
R&R.
Hell yeah.
Then I think...
Are we ready?
I think
Are we
with
ready for
that,
patch notes?
well, do we want to talk about some of the mini games that you might have to do when you do bump into another Hulk?
Yeah, we could figure those out.
I imagine there's definitely something about you needing to hug the other Hulk for certain.
And you have to hold your phone in one hand and hug the other person.
Maybe there's like a trust exercise where you do have to swap phones for about like 45 seconds. Like you have to swap phones, walk in opposite
Oh.
directions, and then come back.
I was thinking play a mini game of like a 2-point badminton game, but with Hulk,
Ooh, I like that very much.
where you swat your phone around.
Yeah, just like these fun little mini games of you getting to like meet somebody just very briefly and experience something together. And then the second it's done, the timer starts again, your phone starts screaming, and you need to get back into sprinting to where you were trying to go.
There's no time to just have a conversation with the person you just
You
met.
can't
It's like,
swap numbers.
You
The-
can't
but- There's a button on the game that says, "Would you like to swap information with this Hulk?"
oh, exchange Hulk tags.
Yes,
It's complete anonymity though.
right. And then once you start chatting up other Hulks, it's up to you to share personal information if you so wish. Oh.
Oh fuck, that's good.
What I like about this game though is that if I had this game, it would definitely be more stressful than I need it to be, but it would be a good reminder for me to take my 10-minute breaks at work.
You just don't know when that's gonna come. It could be at the beginning of your shift.
That would be suck, but at least I would have taken it.
You just get the message and you tell your boss like, "Hey, give me a second. I need to go Hulk out."
I think we're good to go ahead and leave this episode here then, and we can head on over to patch notes, I think.
Hey everybody, and welcome to Patch Notes. Make sure to check out Ray's content. We're gonna have all of their links on our Twitter, and you can go check out their lovely podcasts.
But Ray, what do you want to direct people to? If they had to hunt down one place and they said, "I'm going to find Ray," where do I go on the internet? I love this boy so much, I need to see his shit.
If you need to see my shit online, you can
Don't make a
go
dookie
to
joke.
Twitter
Okay. Whew.
at Eleray13. That's ELERAY13. That's where I post literally anything I do, including my podcasts, my streams, my thoughts about this Hulk game that's coming out. All of it. All of my innermost thoughts are on my Twitter. So go check it out, please.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us. This has been an absolute joy.
Thank you. Chaos is my thing. Sorry.
No, it's exactly what we needed from you. If we didn't
Yeah,
want...
we were talking about having you on the show for like I think it's like been a good month and a half now, something like that. It's great to finally have you on.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun. I'm not quite sure what happened.
Join the club. That's how we feel at the end of every episode.
As always, our intro and outro is Cheap Shop by Anamanaguchi, an excellent song from an excellent band for an excellent game. I've
Holy
been
shit,
your host-
AJ, we didn't talk about it. AJ, we didn't talk about it. Fucking
Talk
Scott
about what?
Pilgrim's coming back. Scott
Oh my
Pilgrim's
God.
coming
Coming
back.
back.
Holy
Ray, did you
shit,
hear about
Scott
that?
Pilgrim's coming back.
I did hear about this. I'm very
Oh my fucking
excited.
god, I'm so fucking excited. Oh, we gotta play it. We gotta find a couple other people to play with. Ray, you want to play some Scott Pilgrim?
Yes.
All right, we'll find one more
fuck
slot.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Hell yeah,
I can think of one person.
All right.
Maybe I can ask that Joe person I played Paladins with. Like, you think they'd be up for it?
He might be a former Scott Pilgrim fan. Yeah.
A former Scott Pilgrim fan. He didn't enjoy the movie, huh?
Oh no, we've just grown as people and have realized that Scott Pilgrim is a bad franchise.
Oh,
What?
no, that's
Oh
I'm
no! Oh, that makes me sad. Like, really sad.
No, it's good. I want to play the video game. Let me play the video game with you.
all right. We'll play the.
Also, Joe will definitely play this video game.
Sweet, excellent.
I call Wallace. Sorry.
That's totally fair.
That's
I'm
fair.
probably gonna want to play as Knives.
I play as Ramona. She's so cute. She's so cute.
As always, I have been your host AJ Hart.
And I have been your other host, Blake Rhea.
And I've been your best friend, Ray.
This has been Spiritual Successor.
And these are cool games.
That should not be made.